Hey guys, in this video, I'm gonna show you how I made this stool without any glue. Except for the top though, it's glued up with 2x2s, but you could also just use a 2x10 for it. I also made it so that you can disassemble it and you can easily bring it around in some sort of paper bag. First, get a 2x10 and cut it to 18 inches and just plane it to 9 inches wide. But in this case, I'm going to be using 2x2s and just gluing them together because I don't have a 2x10. Since I am using 2x2s and just gluing them up, I cut them a little bit oversized at around 18.5 inches to 19 inches and then just cutting them to their final size after they're glued up. After cutting all my pieces to length, usually when I'm making an edge joint, I would usually plane the ends and edge joint them. But then the wood that I bought is actually weirdly straight and it already has a seamless fit even without my edge jointing. So that made my life easy and I can just glue them all together normally. Next, I flatten, straighten, and also removing the excess glue with my jack plane. And then after that, I use a smoothing plane to further smoothen the wood. I square one end with a handsaw. Then I cut the seat to its final length, which is 18 inches. So here we're gonna have a lot of 2x2s to cross cut, so here are the sizes that we need. First, we need 4 12-inch pieces, we need 4 9-inch pieces, and we need 2 18-inch pieces. Before doing anything to the legs and stretchers, I also plane them smooth while I'm at it. After all that, you should have your 1x10 planed to 9 inches, or in this case, my 2x2s glued together, plus the stretchers, legs, and whatever cut list I've provided previously. This video is not gonna teach you how to cut these mortise and tenon joints. I can always make another video about it if you want, but there are already many videos in the internet that could teach you how to cut mortise and tenons, probably better than me even. And in terms of where they're located, here are my plans for it. If there's something that's not clear, you can just ask me in the comments. After doing the layout, I just start chiseling out the mortises for the tusked mortise and tenon, which are on the side of each legs. And I've designed it so that the tusked mortise and tenons will be for the front stretchers, and the side stretchers will just be through mortises and tenons with a draw bore. And right here, I cut the tenons out. For the wedges of the tusked mortise and tenon, I just got this off-cut piece of 1x4 that is a fairly hard wood, and I'm going to be ripping it and then planing it thinner, and then I'm going to be chiseling or sawing an angle into it. Next, I'm going to be cutting my angled mortise and tenon to accept the wedges for the tusked mortise and tenon. After cutting the tusked mortise and tenons, I now make the mortise and tenons for the 4 side stretchers. Right here, I'm just making big chamfers with a jack plane and smoothing in it with a smoothing plane. And in many furniture projects, I like to chamfer the bottom of the legs with just a small chamfer so that it is less likely to chip, crack, splinter, and those stuff. So the way we're going to be putting the seat in is there's gonna be dowels on the frame, and then there's gonna be holes on the seat, and the dowels will just make it so that the seat can friction fit on. Friction fit enough that you could still take it apart easily, but not too loose that when you carry it, the bottom falls off. The wood of the dowels is harder than the seat, and to take advantage of that, instead of measuring the holes onto the seat, I just center the seat, and the camera is pointed at the wrong angle, but I center the seat and then I give it a really strong tap with a mallet so it will make marks on the bottom side, and that's just what I'm going to bore out. And then I bore the hole in the seat, and I should have used a def stop just to be more careful and make sure that I don't break out the other side, but I chose not to and just tried my best to control because I didn't have any tape lying around. But to be safe, you should probably wrap tape around your bit just so that you have an automatic def stop. After that, I just take it apart and give each piece a light planing, or you can sand it also. And that just gets rid of all the marking gauge lines and all the pencil marks so that you'll have a cleaner surface. So to attach everything together, I'm going to be drawboring them, which there's gonna be a dowel going through the whole mortise, and then in the tenon, the hole is put a little bit more towards the shoulder. So when you pound the dowel in, it actually draws the connecting piece towards the mortise, and it holds really tight, and you don't need glue at all. What I did here is I inserted it back to the tenon, and then I'm just using the drill bit and the light tap from the mallet just to mark the tenon, and then I'm just gonna move it offset closer to the shoulder. Really small difference, don't make the difference too much or it might split your tenon or break the dowel. Next, to attach the dowels to the frame, and so that when I remove the seat, it won't just go onto the seat, I'm going to be wedging it in so that it's gonna be tighter to the frame than it is onto the seat. And for the finish, I use boiled linseed oil plus beeswax as a top coat. And yeah, that's it for this project, guys. I hope you enjoyed. And if you have any questions or suggestions, you could comment down below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye.